Hey friends, hope you're doing fine. Today let's discuss a few pandas, functions and tricks which might make your life easier. The first is how we can reverse a data frame, meaning either sort it from top to bottom or from bottom to top, or also how to resort the columns in a data frame. So to do this, let's explore that. I already imported pandas as PD. PD is the abbreviation, and I'm using the drinks dataset here, which you can also use directly from the internet because it's available via this bit.ly link. So if you run drinks.head to show only the first 5 entries, you see that it contains a country and then some informations about beer, wine and other things, other alcohols which are consumed, and the continent. Now, if we want to reverse the data frame, we could easily do this using drinks.log, and in this case ilog, and then I'm using simply 2 double points and then a -1. And if I do that and execute this, now you see we basically start at the bottom, from Zimbabwe, Zambia and so on, up to the top Afghanistan. So we reverse the specific order. And if you want to also reset the index, all you need to do is call .resetIndex and then a drop equals 2. And if you do that and execute it, you'll see that now it's still reversed, but Zimbabwe is now the 0 index in the data frame. So that's how easy that is. The other option would be, let's actually go to the original dataset, drinks.head, right? This one would be that we want to maybe start with the continent and country should be reversed. So country is the last column. To do this, you can do something quite similar. So drinks.ilog. But this time what you do is you simply use a double point and then a comma, and then you use the 2 double points and the -1. And if you execute this, you'll see that now the continent is the first column and the country is the last one. So basically you reverse the order of, in this case, the columns of the data frame. So what else? Also, sometimes you want to also use only a subset of the columns. Now, to do this, of course, you can specify the exact columns you want, or maybe you want to select the columns by data type. Now, if that is the case, there's one option in Pandas which is called select dtypes, meaning I could say drinks.select dtypes, and then I just can specify include equals, and in this case, list, I can specify what exactly do I want to include. And if I only want to include, for instance, numerical figures, I could simply type in number. Execute this, and you see that now I have a subset of the columns of the data frame, which include only the numerical columns. Same is true if I only want to use the string columns, so the text values, I could refer to object. And you see that now I only include the country and the continent because the other columns here are, in this case, numerical columns. And the reason it's a list is simply because you can also add, of course, different data types. So I can also use object and number just to show this to you, execute it, and then you see I would include all the columns inside the data frame. So that would also be possible if I want to do that. But there are more data types, like for instance, date time and dates and so on. So that's why you can specify several objects and still get only a subset of the original data frame. Next to the include, by the way, there's also the exclude keyword. So if you want to get rid of a specific data type, you could also say, let me just remove it. And instead of using include, you type in exclude, like that. You execute it, and you also see that now you exclude all the columns which include string data types. Could also be valuable if, for instance, you only want to keep numerical columns and date columns, for instance, but not the string columns. Then the exclude would be probably a better option instead of writing a list with all the other data types. So that's it, basically quick and easy, but very helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If so, please consider subscribing. And otherwise, thanks a lot for watching and hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, best guys.